Welcome back to another episode of Some Beastie Bars. And today we're going to talk about why confidence is more valuable than money. Hear me out. All right. So I live with my mom. I drive a car that's over 15 years old, and I still feel like the coldest nigga alive. Why? Because I know who the fuck I am, with or without money. And a lot of y'all think that once you get money, you're going to get more confident. You think once you get the apartment, once you get the Rolex, once you can post screenshots of your Stripe, making 20, 30K a month, like that's when you're going to get confidence. But that's not how this shit works. Money doesn't build confidence. Confidence is what brings money in the first place. And until you realize that, you're going to keep chasing a bag while doubting the man that's holding it. So we've all been conditioned to believe that confidence is a reward, that it comes after success, like after you've earned the body, after you've made 10K a month, after you've made it. But the truth is, confidence is just the entry ticket. It is not the trophy. The world does not reward you for doubting yourself. It rewards you for moving like you're supposed to be there. And most of y'all don't believe that you belong in rooms that you want to enter. That's why you hesitate. That's why you self-sabotage. That's why you play small. But you got to realize, like I've said it before in other videos, this life is 100% mental. And everything that you're getting in your life is just a reflection of what you believe that you already are. So everything starts internally. And if you want to make more money, if you want to be more confident, like if you want to attract more women, if you want to have a more successful business, you want to get a raise in your job, like whatever it is that you want, that shit is going to start internally. It has to start with you and what you believe about yourself, the identity that you have about yourself, because you're only going to see what you already believe. A lot of you don't believe that you're worth making 10K a month. You don't believe that you're worth, spending a lot of money on a gym membership or having a nice body or spending money on quality foods. Like you don't think that you're worth that much, so you don't act like that, and therefore you don't get the results that you want to get. But when you are scrolling, late at night, or you're out drinking with your boys and y'all are getting all sentimental, then you talk about, how you want to lock in for the summer, you want to, get in shape, you want to, get this bag, you want to start the business and all this shit, bro. But it does not work like that. The work starts internally. It starts with it starts with who you believe you are. It starts with the man in the mirror. That's where it starts. And then everything else will be a byproduct of that. See, money doesn't make you anything. It just amplifies who you are. It doesn't fix shit. I've met guys with money, and I'm talking about like 7-figure earners, guys that have multiple businesses, multiple $100,000 cars, all the chains, wear nothing but designer, like all that shit. Like on the surface, that look like they live a great life. And you will be surprised how many of them are still insecure, because money doesn't make you confident. It makes your insecurities more visible. Like a lame nigga is gonna be a lame nigga with or without money. Like if anything, he's gonna be more lame with money. Like the guy who was unsure about himself when he was broke, he's still unsure about himself. He's just driving a Benz now. The guy who was a people pleaser without cash, now he's just a rich pushover. And you would be surprised by a lot of these people that do have money, that have the confidence to go out and get money. Like they still internally aren't a man that they're proud of. So they surround themselves with yes men, people that always just tell them, great things about themselves, that never challenge them to become better. Men that, still allow them to cheat on their wife or to scam others or do dirty business or just not be a solid man because, it gasses them up. Or they can, they feel powerful because they can, pay them off and, help them out. In exchange, those people can, just feed their ego, bro. Like, money is great, but being a man with character is even better. Being a man with morals, being a man that's led by your principles, that's led by your values, that's led by God, like that is more valuable than money. And money is powerful, don't get me wrong. Like you should definitely all be trying to get a bag, but you should more so be trying to become the version of yourself that has money because you are a successful man, because you are someone that is disciplined, because you are somebody, that is a successful entrepreneur, that's somebody that's disciplined and just has good character and good morals about you, because your character is how you act when nobody's watching. And that is what's going to be reflected back to you in the reality. Like you cannot have money and still have an amazing character and amazing morals and have amazing energy that people just want to be around. You know, like you can still be magnetic without it. Like you just need to start acting like that version of yourself that has the money first. You need to start acting like the most confident version of yourself, the version of yourself that has the six pack, that, you know, gets every girl that he talks to, that makes the money that he wants to make. You need to start operating from that lens today for life to start showing that back to you in reality. Because the real reason why you don't have what you want to have, like you're not broke because you lack talent or intelligence or potential. You broke because you don't think that you deserve more. You don't charge what you're worth. You downplay your voice. You stay humble instead of bold. Like that's the reason why you don't go talk to the girl, because you don't think that you're worthy of talking to the girl. I see people on Instagram and TikTok all the time talking about shorty looks too expensive for me to even approach her, and it's like, bro, why would you put yourself, like, you're putting yourself in a box. You're giving yourself a ceiling. Like the only thing that you should ever doubt are your limits. Like the only limits that you will ever have are the ones that you impose on yourself. Like the thing about life is, like I said, it's 100% mental, and that means that the only things that are true are what your subconscious mind believes to be true. So if you think that a girl is out of your league, or is too expensive for you, or you think that, you know, you're not worthy of making 10K a month or however much you want to make, then like that's what you're gonna see in your reality. Like it's just gonna reflect that back to you. You know, like you need to understand that you have all the power to change your life to be who you want to be, but it's going to start internally. It's going to start with you looking at yourself in the mirror and being confident at what you see. It's going to start with you being comfortable with being alone, being by yourself, not on your phone, not doom scrolling, being comfortable with just being present with yourself and understanding what's actually going on inside of your mind. Like you need to have a certain presence about you, and that will breed the confidence. Like, I don't think you guys realize that there are men out there with half of your skill set making double, even triple of what you are, just because they believe that they're supposed to. Just because they just see themselves as somebody that makes that type of money. Not because they're more qualified, not because they're more talented, not because they look better than you, not because they came from a better situation, but because that's just what they believe that they should be. The standards that they just believe that they should live is what's dictating the life that they live. Confidence will get converted into action, and that action will get converted into value, and that value is what will lead to the income. You're trying to skip straight to income without building that self-belief first, and it does not work like that. And if you really want to build that confidence, if you're starting from ground zero, you're not going to build it with shouting affirmations in the mirror. It's not going to be with more podcasts. You're not going to build it with hoping more, journaling more, meditating more, praying more. And those things are great. Do not get me wrong. Like they're not a bad place to start, but that's not what's going to make you more confident. What's going to make you more confident is doing the actual work, keeping the promises that you make to yourself, like waking up when you said that you would, hitting the gym when you didn't feel like it, posting the content even though nobody's been watching. Confidence is the receipt that you get from discipline. And every time that you follow through, your brain collects proof that you trust yourself. Because you have to realize, guys, like the conscious brain, like whatever you're thinking about right now, like that's only about 10-15% of your actual mind. The rest is the subconscious. And that shit is always watching. It knows every time that you say that you're going to start the new diet on Monday, or you say you're going to start hitting the gym on Monday, or it knows when you say that you're going to talk to the girl next time you see her at the gym, or you're going to ask for the raise next time you see your boss, and you don't do it. Your mind takes note of that. It's like, okay, bet, well, we're not that type of guy. We're not that type of guy. And the more that you don't follow through on those small promises that you make to yourself, the more your mind doesn't trust you. The more your mind isn't going to believe that you're capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do, because you've shown yourself so many times that you're just not that guy. So it's like, oh yeah, he's just high off life right now. He's just, caught a motivational, listen to a David Goggins video once, or a Hormozy video once, and he's talking big and bad, but he's not really about that. But the same works in reverse. The more that you actually do follow through, when the bed is nice and cozy and it's cold outside, and you still get up at 6 a.m. and, you go outside and you go hit the gym, and you follow through with it. And, when you actually talk to the girl that you've been scoping at the gym for months now, even though you're stuttering over your words, your palms sweaty, knees weak, arms is heavy, when you actually go do that shit, your brain's like, okay, we actually are that guy. We're actually building, we're building proof that we are who we say we are. Even if you do it scared, even if you do it anxious, even if you do it and you're not the most confident in the moment, you're still fucking doing it. And that is the most confidence building thing that you can do, is just doing the actions, keeping those promises that you make to yourself. Because like I said, your brain is going to collect proof, and that proof is what's going to allow you to trust yourself subconsciously, to a point to where you don't have to think about it, to a point to where you know that if you say something, you're going to do it. And that's just what it is. Because once you trust yourself, everything changes. That's when you start talking different. You start walking different. You start applying more pressure, and people feel it, because people will have no choice but to feel it. You have to realize, once you you give yourself permission to be who you've always thought that you're going to be, the world has no choice but to accept you for who you are. The world has no choice but to accept you for who you are. Even if people think you're too cocky, even if people think that, they're like, oh, who does he think he is? Or why does he think he can talk like this or dress like this or walk like this? Like, that doesn't matter. Like, they have no choice but to accept you for who you are, because you accept yourself as that. And you're allowing nothing less than that. So people are going to feel it. They're going to feel that energy. They're going to be like, damn, okay, he's actually on his shit. Oh, okay, like, he's a little bit different now. Like, well, I don't know what it is about him, but like, his energy is just different. And that just comes from you following through. Like, this shit can literally change your life. And it can happen in an instant. You just need to continue. You just need to start following through on the shit that you said that you've always wanted to do. Because the moments, the little bursts, the couple weeks that you've had when you are on your shit, you feel like a different person because you are. You feel like a different person because you can see yourself doing the work. You see yourself hitting the gym when you feel tired. You see yourself, staying up late to work on your side hustle. You see yourself posting the content even though it's not getting views. Guys, I started this YouTube channel. I started it a while ago, but I started posting consistently about 3 weeks ago. I had less than 90 followers. I'm at almost 200 now. I'm at like 170 something right now. And I know that's not drastic. That's not like crazy. We're not doing anything nuts right now, but that's still growth. And that's because I just kept posting, even though I got some videos out here with like no likes, bro. Like, but I don't care. I'm still posting, and I see myself still posting, still making content. And I'm like, oh yeah, like, I'm a creator. I'm a business owner. This is what I do. I'm helping people out. I'm talking to people in the DMs. Like, I'm closing clients. I'm providing value to people, because that is what I view myself as. And that is what the world is affirming back to me. Once you make that choice, all you have to do is just keep being that person. And the more you do it, the more momentum you build. And once you build momentum, it's going to be hard for you to stop. It's going to be hard for you to go back to the other life, because you know what it's like to be broke. You know what it's like to not have the body that you want. You know what it's like to not have the girl that you want, or the job that you want, or the business that you want. You already understand what that's like. So once you start building momentum, even if it's small, even if, like I said, you got 20 followers and the week prior you had 15, like, you start to feel, you're like, okay, like, it's starting to compound. And that is the best feeling. That is the shit that gets addictive. And that's how you know that it's all natural. It's all you, because you're putting in the work, and that work is what's affirming back to you. That is who you are. Like, that's who you say you are. That's who you think that you are. Like I said, it doesn't come from affirmations. It comes from building up an undeniable stack of results that prove that you are who you say you are. And the reality is, your self-worth is going to set the ceiling for just the life that you live. You will never earn more than your identity believes that it deserves. Like, that's going to be the ceiling for you. That's why you freeze when somebody asks, how much do you charge? Or that's why you freeze when your manager asks you, if you have any more questions, and that you want to be asking them about, getting a raise. Or that's why you freeze up when you see the girl in the gym that you've been scoping for months now, but you don't say anything. Because your self-worth, your self-belief isn't high enough to think that you should automatically get those type of things. Your subconscious doesn't believe that you're worth it. And until you make that shift, you're going to keep letting average dudes pass you. And not because that they're better, but just because they're bolder, bro. The universe favors the bold, because once you start to be bold and start to just live out the things that you always thought that you could do, life is going to have no choice but to give that shit back to you, bro. It has no choice. That's why there's dudes, like I said, that are out there that don't look better than you, that are pulling badder girls than you, that are living a better life than you, because they just believe that is what they're worth, bro. Your self-worth is everything. And the way you build your self-worth is by keeping those promises to yourself, by executing on the shit that you know that you need to do. Because that's when you really get anxiety, is when you know that you're not When you know you're in over your head. It's when you know that you're spending time scrolling, playing video games when you should be posting content, when you should be working on the business, when you should be doing your outreach, when you should be doing your work. That's when you get anxious. That's when you start, feeling all weird inside about yourself. It's because you're not doing the work that you need to do. You know exactly what needs to get done. And the more that you skip out on that shit, the more you're telling yourself that you're not worthy of the life that you want to live. Think about every day that you procrastinate is another day that you got to wait to get the Lambo. It's another day you got to wait to make the money that you want to make. It's another day you got to wait to get the Rolex. It's another day you got to wait to get the body that you want to get. So instead of putting that shit off, make that shit come faster by just doing the fucking work, bro. It's not that hard, I promise you. And as a man, you need to build everything for yourself. Because I know you probably heard, as a man, you got to create the life that you need to live. Like, you're not valuable to the world, blah, 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 all that doomer shit, bro. Fuck that. Like, yes, you do need to build yourself up, but that shit is fun, bro. Like, you play video games all day, spending all this money on your VC to, build up your My Player and do all the practice for your Road to Glory player and shit. But, like, do that shit in real life, bro. This is the realest fucking, I don't know what those type of games are called, but just those, real world games where you can build shit up. Like, this is the realest shit that you can do, bro. And it's the most fun that you can have, because when you really start leveling up your XP, start making more money, when you start hitting the gym and you start, using the VC to, get more muscles and tattoos and stronger and all that shit, bro, that shit just feels good. Cause you're like, I'm building this character in real life, in real time. It gives you a purpose to wake up in the morning, because you're chipping away at carving that man that you've always known was under the fat, or just under the shell of yourself that you've created so far. Like, that shit just makes life a lot more fun when you are building that man that you always know that you could be. So build that person, have that high self-worth, have that high self-value, so you can see the life that you were meant to see, so you can be the great individual that you were meant to be. You wouldn't be on this channel watching this video if you didn't have greatness destined for you deep down in your heart. Like, you are going to be the one that changes your family life if you believe that you're worthy of it, if you believe that you are capable of it. Like I said before, I currently live with my mom at my mom's crib. I didn't used to. I just moved in not too long ago. But here's the thing, bro. That does not deter me from anything, because I add value everywhere I go. My mom's lost 10 pounds since I've been here in the last 2.5 months. She's eaten way better. She just feels a lot better about herself. And I'm still going out, like, I'm still impacting people around me, bro. Like, I still have that same swag, because in my mind, this channel already has 100K subs. I'm already making 40, 50K a month. I'm already whipping the years, bro. Like, and I act like that already. If any of you know me in real life, you know my confidence is through the roof. And it might offend others. People might call me cocky. People might call me delusional. People might call me whatever the fuck. I don't give a damn, because I have to live with myself at the end of the day. I go to bed alone and I wake up alone. And I'm not saying this on like some dark, depressing shit. I'm just saying that in a sense that, like, as long as I'm okay with myself and I know the life that I'm building, I know the shit that I'm doing on a daily basis, I know I'm hitting the gym, I know I'm making my content, I know I'm helping people transform their lives and closing more clients and growing my business, as long as I know that I'm doing that, I can sleep just fine knowing I live with my mom, knowing I drive a car that's over 15 years old. Because I'm going to walk like that version of myself that I know that I am. Like, I don't see my reality for what it is. I see my reality, like I said, I got 100K subs. I'm making 50K a month. I'm whipping the years. I'm living in a penthouse. I got the ocean views. Like, I see myself living that already, so life is going to have no choice but to affirm that back to me. Like, and I would rather die trying to make that shit happen than to be okay settling for below average or just average and just being normal, bro. Because I'm not built for that, and you weren't either. So I say all that to say, the foundation is already set for myself. That's why I move how I move. I have the mindset, I have the discipline, I have the identity. Like, that shit's already locked in. I know the bag is gonna show up. And when it does, I'm gonna be already able to hold it, because my nervous system is already regulated for success. Anytime I do close a client, anytime I do have any type of success, a video goes viral or anything like that, like, I'm not freaking out about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm like, this is normal. This is what we do. This is how we operate. This is what somebody like me experiences. Because I've already mentally made that shift of this is just who I am. And you need to do the same for your life. Because if your nervous system isn't regulated, if you aren't calm and present with your reality now, but just having as if you would already have what you already have. When you get it, you're gonna trick it off. When you get it, you're gonna freak out. You're gonna think it's too crazy. That's when imposter syndrome runs in and shit, bro. And I don't have none of that, bro, because I'm already training myself to live at that level, and I'm operating at that level despite what I'm seeing in reality, despite what everybody's telling me, despite people projecting their insecurities on me. And that is what's going to allow me to continue to keep being great. And that is what I love doing for other people, because there's nothing like seeing that spark change in somebody else. Seeing somebody else that has low self-confidence, or that's always self-sabotaging themselves, or that's just in a mental rut. Seeing them make that switch and make that change, and just operating on a whole new frequency, that shit gives me passion. That shit gives me joy. And that's what I'm doing for men like you watching this video. And if you are in that situation where you're ready to make that shift and you can't do it by yourself and you want some help, comment the word blueprint and I'll reach out to you, and we can see if I can see if I can help out, because you're too talented to be underpaid. You're too disciplined to be unfocused, and you're too hungry to be scared. So let's flip that switch. And I hope you got something valuable from this video. And like I said, if you want to work together, DM me the word blueprint. If not, hope you like this, subscribe, and hope you have a beastie day, man.